DESIblitz.com.
Hi, Manisha Koirala. I'm at JLF London, and you're watching me on DESIblitz.com.
I'd like to briefly just touch on first, in your book Healed, I've just started it, you briefly touched on when you was 8 years old and your mum left you at your grandmother's, and I just want to capture that. How did that really feel for you?
It was something that I had to really get over in my adulthood because it was painful. And so I think in my childhood, if I have to remember what was the most painful time, was to see my mom walking away, yeah.
Moving fast forward to, I think it was December 2012 when you got the bad news. And I know from your book, you were saying you was waiting, lying all day for the doctor to come and they were busy, you kept asking for him. How does that feel when all your family walked in?
It was, I feel it was the longest day of my life because I got checked into the hotel and then I had to stay overnight and then we got scanned next day, and I kept on asking the doctor and nurses to say, tell me what do I have, and nobody was telling me, and that felt like the longest time, not knowing and eagerly waiting, and eventually when the family started coming in one by one, and I was wondering why everybody's coming in. Is there some kind of a family get together? I mean, what is it? I was, and it felt. The doctor actually told us, and Dr. Madhu Ghimire, he's a family doctor also. He's checked all my family, my granduncles, my grandfather, and so he's part of family as well. So I remember he had tears in his eyes when he said, Manisha, he got everybody together first, and then he said, you have cancer, and I really didn't believe it first. I thought, so I casually told him, why can't you just, if it's cancer, why can't you just cut it and throw it away? So he said, my aunt that time, she said, what all to cut and throw it away because it's spread out. So that's when I realized it's serious. But then also, I went to Bombay, Mumbai, I got second opinion, and I kept on hoping that it was misdiagnosis, and I kept on hoping that it was wrong, that maybe there was some hodgepodge at the lab or some scanning or something wrong. I couldn't have got cancer and all that. But ultimately I had to face the reality, I had to face the fact that I had late stage cancer.
You've also spoke about that, how you're reading people because they were withholding information from you. And then
I always felt people. When this was new to me though, because everything was. I was so shocked with that news, so my mind was going all warped. It was all going all wonky, and I was thinking, are they being too kind to me? Are they being honest to me? Are they? They are just. So I started reading their body language. I started reading their facial expression. I started trying to make sense. And, when you're in stunned state, some weird things happen to your brain. And one of them was this for me.
It's a life-changing challenge you've been through. How has it affected you personally as a Bollywood celebrity, your journey of this?
It's been mixture. Of course, the fear factor, fear of dying, has a major role in it. But learning to deal with that, learning to live with that, learning to say, I'm not going to be fearful. If I have to die, I have to die. Learning to say, I'm going to make peace with my death. Learning to say, it's been huge eye-opening process for me in terms of life, in terms of me, in terms of everything. So to me, it's been a gift of some sorts, because it's opened doors for me to see the world differently and see the life differently. And I say this with all sincerity that I took it as, okay, if I have to live even for 3 years. First it was shock. Of course. You never think of dying, one doesn't think of death. But once you're diagnosed with cancer, you're faced with that consistently. So then I kind of started saying, okay, if I have short time on this earth, I'm going to make it worth it. I'm going to do things that my heart is going to be filled with love and joy and gratitude, rather than fear and scared and sadness. It was a choice I took, and I'm so glad, because I think everything from that decision onwards, everything shifted for me. I have a better quality life, I feel.
What inspired you to write this book?
Okay, I took a while to say yes to write this book, because I'm not a writer per se. I'm an actress. And though my mom always used to sneakily read my diaries and would always comment that I have a good way of expressions, but language is not my forte. It took a while, and it was a long process itself. But then I had help of a co-author, Neelam Kumar, she's written a couple of books, and she's also is a cancer survivor. And so it kind of matched with she could understand the pain and trauma that I've gone through. And then I had tons and tons and tons of notes during my treatment I had written. Because I felt, the reason I felt this book was necessary is I wanted to give a positive twang, honestly, in the sense it is a painful journey. It is, when you read few incidences, it is quite scary and hard, hurtful. But at the same time, when you finish the book, there is a positive message in that, and I believe in that. And I believe, at the cost of sounding light, not superficial, but light, I tend to see things in a more positive way. So it could be of some help to people who are going through similar kind of crisis. And so many times the family members goes through a cancer or life-threatening disease or some challenges, and family members don't know how to be and how to react or how to respond. It could help them as well. So I guess I had a good support from my co-writer, as well as we wanted to be of some use. My story could be of some use to people.
I'm sure it will be. It is fun.
I hope so.
Beat the illness, you've come back to acting, love stories, and then you did a part in Sanju as well. How has Indian cinema changed for you?
Well, it's been great. Um, I have acted almost 80 movies, and it's been a marvelous journey for me. Almost 30 years in the film industry, and now I see everything is evolving into different sphere, because I think globally people are interested in Indian cinema, and not only Bollywood, not only Hindi speaking, but regional speaking as well. And globally, people are watching through the digital media, and platforms like Netflix, and there's so many other platforms, digital platforms. So the content are getting more. I think we are no more in the box. We are trying to reach out to the global, people, and so we are making content also like that. It's a great time for actors, actresses, writers, directors, filmmakers, telling different kinds of story, different way, and so I think it's a great time for cinema.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.